And that's what it was. And after the sparring, we respected each other. Like, it was a different type vibe after we sparred, honestly. Now it was like, oh, damn, bro. Like, damn. Like, we really started to get to know each other, you feel me? Because when he came to our gym, he was popular. Like, Shakur was the guy.
They knew him.
Everybody knew him in amateurs.
One thing I can say, though, because, I've been seeing, we've been amateur together and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Tio can fight.
The boxing world was left shocked after leaked sparring footage showed Keyshawn Davis knocking down Shakur Stevenson. The clip showcased Davis's sharp timing and technical skill, underlining the intensity of elite, high-level training sessions. Davis also acknowledged Teofimo Lopez as a strong and dangerous fighter, explaining that he has watched both Stevenson and Lopez since their amateur days. His comments suggest that while talent exists on every side, factors like preparation, speed, and strategy ultimately decide who takes control in the ring.
Shakur playing out, because you want me to tell you the truth, like, this fight could have been the winner's bracket fight. In other words, they're jumping to it, but at the end of the era, it may have been Teo and Shakur, especially if you would never fight Shakur, right? How do you see this fight playing out?
I see it playing out, let's say, I see it starting off slow.
Okay.
And then I see as Shakur wins the first round, as Shakur wins the second round, slowly, I think Teo is going to eventually start picking it up and start imposing his will.
Right.
And then, it's just going to go from there. That's how I think it's going to go.
That's a fair assessment.
That's a fair.
Keyshawn Davis recalled a sparring session with Shakur Stevenson, stressing that it was never personal, just pure competition. He explained that once he stepped into the ring, landing clean shots was difficult while Stevenson's counters came through with ease. Even so, Davis continued to push forward, knowing that backing off could work against him. The intense exchange left him with a deeper respect for Stevenson's ability and reinforced the importance of persistence and staying focused.
I'm confident. I'm knowing I'm about to go in here and beat him up, right? Man, I get in the ring, man. Why I cannot hit this man, right? I cannot hit him, but he touching me. So I'm like, oh, this is different.
He different.
Like, he different. So I just keep, I'm 14, he's 16. I just keep going, I just keep going. So some getting through, some not, some getting through, some getting not. And I felt as if I was to step off the gas pedal, he was gonna get me. So I just had to keep going, you feel me? And I know he explained that a lot of times in interviews, like that's why he respect me so much, because in that sparring right there, I didn't respect him at all. I was just trying to dog him up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what it was. And after the sparring, we respected each other. Like, it was a different type vibe after we sparred, honestly. Now it was like, oh, damn, bro, like, damn. Like, we really started to get to know each other.
Keyshawn Davis reflected on his long-standing connection with Shakur Stevenson, explaining that from the very start, their relationship went beyond the ring, with Davis describing Stevenson as a brother. Despite that close bond, a competitive rivalry naturally formed, pushing both fighters to improve and challenge one another at every stage of their careers. This blend of friendship and competition played a key role in their development, allowing them to learn from each other while constantly striving to grow. Davis emphasized that their rivalry was always built on mutual respect and a shared drive to reach the highest levels of boxing.
It's family, bro. Like, I'm never, ever fighting Shakur. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. It's not even gonna feel right.
What were some of the experiences, like, with you guys growing up, like, as young men and young teenagers in Virginia? Like, what's some of those things that shaped you to know, like, he's my brother, man, I could never do that?
Yeah, the moment when I was like, all right, yeah, Shakur, I genuinely actually got real love for you was when I was going through my deep depression times. Even before I was going into the mental home, because I used to tell my brother a lot, but then I started like backing off from my little brother because he was my little brother. I started talking to Shakur a lot about like how I was feeling, and how I was thinking, and what I was doing to myself. And Shakur was just giving me advice that I really like take in and like, damn, okay, I got you and stuff like that. And then I end up going to the mental home, and like he calling me in there, checking up on me and stuff like that. I get out of the mental home, he pulling up on me, making sure I'm straight, making sure I get back in the gym, making sure I continue to do what I love. So
on the Ariel Helwani show, Shakur Stevenson spoke openly about his upcoming fight with Teofimo Lopez. Stevenson, a rising star recognized for his precision and ring intelligence, addressed critics who questioned his readiness and ability to challenge Lopez. He showed complete confidence in his skills, stating that Lopez has never faced a fighter of his level. Stevenson made it clear that this matchup would be different from anything Lopez has experienced before, pointing to his speed, strategy, and adaptability as tools that would test Lopez in unfamiliar ways. He emphasized that his focus is on the challenge itself rather than the surrounding hype, reflecting a mindset centered on preparation, execution, and the pursuit of greatness. His comments revealed not only strong self-assurance, but also a deep understanding of the tactical demands required to succeed against a fighter with Lopez's power and reputation. Stevenson also expanded on the importance of staying true to his boxing style. He explained that he has no intention of changing his approach just to satisfy expectations or engage in unnecessary brawls. Instead, he plans to fight with discipline, controlling distance, timing, and pace to capitalize on any openings Lopez provides. By remaining composed and relying on his boxing IQ, Stevenson aims to dictate the flow of the fight from the opening bell. This approach highlights his maturity as a fighter and his ability to prioritize strategy over emotion, reinforcing why he's regarded as one of the most cerebral young talents in boxing.
But I know he never fought nobody on my level. Like, I'm 1,000,000% sure that T.O. has never seen nobody as good as me in his life.
He's talking about, like, once he gets through you, then he wants Crawford, names like that. How do you think he would do against someone like Terrence at this point?
I think he gets knocked out.
Can't even hang with him.
Yeah, he's too little. Bud is too big for him.
Right. As far as skills, though, do you think he's on par with the likes of Terrence?
I'm not gonna say he's on a Terrence Crawford level of skills, but he's very skillful. He got a lot of things with him that puts him at a high level.
One thing that was interesting to me was it seemed like you were going to move on from Matchroom, but now Eddie Hearn is involved in this, and this is a Matchroom event, it seems like. I know it's a ring card too, but he's promoting it here in the United States. So what is the state of your relationship with Eddie and Matchroom at this point?
Eddie's my guy. I'm actually not signed to Matchroom, but he's my guy. I'm a big fan of Eddie Hearn, and nothing but respect to him, but I'm glad he's the promoter that's on this card. I'm glad to share the spotlight with his promotional company.
So if he's your guy, how come you're not signed to Matchroom?
I mean, it's just business. If it makes sense, then I will. You know, if it come down to it and that's what makes sense, then we'll do it. But right now, I don't think it makes sense.
Okay, so are you just more of like your own man at this point? Your own entity?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Do you negotiate with the ring people, with Turkey? You just do that yourself?
Uzi Ennis, a respected boxing analyst and commentator, shared his assessment of the Stevenson versus Lopez matchup. Ennis issued a strong warning to Teofimo Lopez, stressing that underestimating Shakur Stevenson would be a serious mistake. He explained that Stevenson's speed goes beyond simple physical quickness, serving as a key weapon that allows him to control exchanges, avoid incoming attacks, and create openings for sharp counterpunches. Ennis also pointed out that fighters who depend mainly on power, without accounting for timing and movement, often struggle against Stevenson. According to him, Lopez must fully respect Stevenson's abilities, as the young champion's blend of intelligence and speed presents a unique and dangerous challenge inside the ring.
Pick them apart. And I gotta tell everybody that Whichcomb is real athletic too. Teofimo. So I mean, I don't think it's gonna be an easy fight. You know what I mean? People think, a lot of people say it's gonna be easy and all. Teofimo can punch and he can box. And like I said, and he's real athletic. So, you know what I mean? That'll make it a little difficult right there. You know what I mean?
I see a lot of people going back and forth with it. Some people think T.O. got the advantage because of the weight and that he's athletic and explosive. Some people say Shakur is the better boxer.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
How you see that fight ending?
Well, they saying, they got the weight and all that. I see Shakur boxing big guys, light heavyweights and all that stuff. Just like Moose, he boxes heavyweights and put the heavyweights down. You know what I mean? I think that's the right move for him. You know what I mean? Get up, and I think he can really do good at that weight.
This isn't a stoppage.
I'm looking at a decision, not a stoppage. But then all according how Till come in, if Till come at him, he gonna run into some shots. It might be over. You know what I mean?
Now, you always tell me it's the shot that you don't see coming.
That's it.
That power is speed.
Right.
So could it be a situation where people underestimate Shakur's punching power?
Yeah. I think Shakur can punch. You know what I mean? I think he can punch. It's just, like I said, speed is power. You know, not them guys, muscle-bound guys come in and you tell them, oh, he can punch and all that. Like I just got finished saying, like you just got finished saying, matter of fact, the punch that you don't see knocks him out. And
Dan Rafael, a veteran boxing journalist, offered his perspective on the fight by highlighting the impressive careers and skill sets of both competitors. He described the matchup as a clash between Shakur Stevenson's technical precision and Teofimo Lopez's explosive power. Rafael acknowledged Lopez's ability to alter the course of a fight with a single punch, while also praising Stevenson's disciplined style, ring intelligence, and defensive excellence. He noted that this contrast in strengths makes the bout especially compelling, as either fighter could control the outcome depending on how the fight unfolds.
Champion in 2 divisions. He was the champion at lightweight, had most of the belts, defeated Lomachenko. He did suffer the upset loss to Kambosos. There were some physical issues there that we didn't know about going into the fight, not to make excuses for him. But regardless, he came back and even though maybe he didn't shine and scintillate maybe in some of those fights after that, when it came time to step up and take on the champ, which was Josh Taylor, he shined in that fight. So when Teofimo is matched, in a big time opponent, he's delivered, and he's done it, a number of times. And, he looked really good against Taylor. And Shakur, by the way, similar thing. He's been flawless through his career. He may be not the most exciting at times, but Shakur Stevenson gets the job done. He has won titles from featherweight up to lightweight. When his back was against the wall, quote unquote, and everybody had big expectations, and he had a lot of pressure on him not to make it a boring fight and all that kind of business. What did he do in his last fight against William Zepeda? He stood in the pocket, he fought the guy, and he won handily. He shut him out, basically. He won like 10 rounds to 2. I mean, he fought a unification fight against Oscar Valdez, a fighter that, even though he might have been favored, thought maybe Oscar could do some damage because he was a good puncher and had a great amateur background and a great chin and all those types of things. And he went out there and he routed him also. I mean, so, these are 2 of the best young elite fighters in boxing. And their fight has been talked about for a long time. They spent most of their careers together at Top Rank, which was a fight. If you ever ask Bob Arum, he'll tell you that was a fight that Top Rank, down the road had their eye on at some point when they were going to be, closer in weight to each other, because obviously Teofimo had started off, a little bit heavier than Shakur, but they would eventually catch up to each other. They're both Olympians, by the way. Teofimo he's American, but he fought for his parents' country of Honduras in that same Olympic Games, and with Shakur Stevenson winning a silver medal for the United States. I mean, they have all kinds of accomplishment. I do think they have a healthy respect for each other. They know each other for all the years being at Top Rank events together. They fought on the same undercard twice when the main event was Terrence Crawford, who was obviously very close to Shakur, but Teofimo was on those shows also. So, and they're doing it in the right place. This is not a fight they're taking to a place that doesn't make sense. All respect to the big matches they do in Saudi Arabia, but this is the kind of fight that belonged in America, and it didn't belong in Las Vegas. It belongs in New York City at Madison Square Garden. Teofimo is from Brooklyn. Shakur is from Newark, New Jersey, which is a 5-minute train ride from Midtown Manhattan. I mean, it's got everything you want to see. The Garden hasn't had a lot of big fights in the main arena over the last few years. The last one they had was the third fight between Katie Taylor and Serrano. But before that, it'd been, a couple years, I think, since they had a main arena fight. So
Tim Bradley, a former world champion and respected analyst, examined the fight through a lens of technical depth and broader significance for the sport. Bradley explained that the matchup reflects boxing's evolving landscape, where elite young fighters challenge one another to define the hierarchy of the next generation. He drew comparisons to Devin Haney's rise, noting that fighters like Shakur Stevenson represent a movement that prioritizes skill, adaptability, and strategic thinking alongside traditional power. According to Bradley, this bout gives both Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez a chance to validate their standing in the sport, showcasing how the next generation blends physical strength with technical excellence. Bradley emphasized that fighters like Stevenson set the standard for precision, speed, and tactical awareness, forcing opponents to elevate their performance. Lopez, known for his explosiveness and athleticism, must adjust to Stevenson's calculated and disciplined approach. Bradley added that young fighters watching this matchup can learn from both men, Stevenson's methodical discipline and Lopez's ability to apply power and control under pressure. Ultimately, he framed the fight as a major moment not only for the two competitors, but for boxing as a whole, highlighting the sport's continued evolution.
Yeah, I think Devin Haney setting the trend. Devin Haney setting the trend. Yeah. Yep, he's setting the trend. Now all these young guys starting to test themselves against each other now. That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. We want to see who the best is, yo. And then the winner of this fight right here needs to fight Devin Haney. Why not? Why not? Keep it going. Keep it going. But anyways, look, this is a message, man. Anybody that's going to be working that hard, y'all better make sure y'all do y'all damn homework. I'm talking about any commentators, any hosts, anybody. Do your damn homework, man, for real. You know what I'm saying? Because this not going to be one of them fights where it's going to be rock 'em, sock 'em, both guys hitting each other and stuff like that. No, it's going to be small, little, nuancey type of things that if you don't know what you watching, you can't tell us what the hell is going on. All the fans at home going to be like, what's going on? You know? They don't have the knowledge that you're supposed to have to give us some food for our damn thoughts. So do your damn homework on this, okay? Oh, that goes for everybody that's gonna be calling this fight, because there's every offense that, or every type of any offense that's gonna be landed, it's gonna have to be earned or set up. Both these guys are intelligent, right? Teofimo Lopez is explosive as hell. He's smart as well. Shoot, you got to remember, this man was the first man to beat Lomachenko. Yeah, well before Haney. Yeah, So, look, check this out. And you already know Shakur Stevenson. You know what he bringing to the ring. Defense first. Yep, defense first. You ain't getting nothing. I'm going to get mine when I get mine and when I want to get mine, but you ain't getting nothing. So, look. Y'all might perceive this fight as being boring.
Another perspective in the discussion centered on Teofimo Lopez's performances against top-tier opposition. Analysts noted that Lopez often reaches his highest level when facing elite competition, with his overall ceiling largely influenced by the quality of his opponent. Against Shakur Stevenson, Lopez is expected to operate at his absolute best, requiring precision, sharp timing, and full use of his reflexes. This dynamic suggests the matchup will force both fighters to showcase their peak abilities, with Lopez needing to rely on his speed, power, and tactical awareness to stay competitive. The analysis also stressed that Lopez's natural aggression and defensive instincts must be balanced with discipline and patience. Against a boxer like Stevenson, reckless exchanges or poorly timed attacks could be quickly punished. Stevenson's ability to control distance, read tendencies, and anticipate incoming offense significantly raises the level of difficulty for Lopez.
Lopez needs opponents like Shakur Stevenson because they are elite fighters. He needs that to bring out the very best in him. I just can't see how it's possible that whilst Teofimo, we've seen a ceiling with him in terms of he's been beaten by certain opponents, we know that he can lose in the ring, but I don't know if that's a genuine ceiling, because I think that his ceiling is actually one of the most changeable in boxing based on who's in front of him. And so actually, I think there's a very, very good chance we're going to see the best possible version of Teofimo Lopez in the ring against Shakur Stevenson. But we should talk about Shakur Stevenson before we get into the nuts and bolts of the fight, what it might look like, and why it is so risky for both men. Now, Shakur Stevenson is currently undefeated. He's 24-0 with 11 KOs. He turned pro back in 2017. He's the same age as Teofimo Lopez at 28 years old, both men in their athletic primes. He's 5'8". These are on paper heights, so potentially a little bit shorter. He could even be a bit taller than Teofimo.